but, you know, that's over half of that price
Already, yeah.
So
that's gone now. So
what happened to the sprinkler system? I'm sorry.
it froze.
Okay, it froze as well.
And it was a supply, well, that was the only,
That's
that's
the
what
only thing that
happened.
froze.
Okay.
A supply line in the ceiling.
So
in
that was the
attic.
orange lines that went through
Yeah,
the ceiling?
yeah.
Okay, okay. I wasn't,
And there's a clause in there about things that aren't covered in this scope of work, and one of them is mitigation to keep the losses from getting worse. Well, I think almost everything that Dan did should be under that column. I don't think I think it's outside of this regular scope of work that they gave us. It's included in the 114,000.
He didn't actually fix it, he just stopped the problem,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, he took truckloads of stuff out of there. Sheet rock and the flooring. and-
right.
Well, as I told you Friday, Al was the adjuster that was out, K-Camp adjuster. I was asking how much, if they were gonna pay all of that to Dan or whatever, and he said, well, I can't pay two people for doing the same job. And I said, well, wait, James, the guy from K-Camp, said that he would pay him as long as it wasn't, you know, trying to stick it to it. Well, and I'm not joking, it was 25 emails Friday of this. James was attached to all of them, never replied.
James, as in K-Camp.
K-Camp, the actual K-Camp person. Well, yesterday I said, where are we at with this? Find anything out? Well, James is on vacation for another 3 weeks.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that's, yeah, I was very happy about that.
I think
So,
I'm about
I
to be
don't-
too.
I can't tell you whether he's gonna get paid or not.
Well, he will. I mean,
Or if they are going to,
K-Camp is the one that brought in Service Master, so they've got to sort out whether Service Master did their,
well.
what
and-
they
and
got.
James is the one that hired them and got them out.
Yeah,
So we
so-
can't even get that contract or anything from them right now, so.
So, once they called them, that's a different deal. The mitigation portion was over with, which I think comes under a different column in the, you know, it shows that as being a thing, an extra cost that's not included in 114,000.
Yeah, what you're saying basically is what Daniel did is an emergency.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not, it wasn't really a fix, it was just an emergency, clean up the mess.
Prevention of further
You gotta
damage
get the
and
water
mold.
out, you gotta get the soaked, you know, that wood plank flooring with the foam rubber in there, like I said, it squished when they walked on it, it had to be out the door. And so that's basically what he did. I don't know, I have no idea what the scope of work was with K-Camp and why they had Service Master there, but that's not our problem because we, as our board and the staff, they don't think Service Master did much. But that's where we feel the insurance company getting stuck, not here. But
I'm gonna just comment here. When Dabney called me, bless her heart, I felt she did everything right. I mean, I don't know how it could have been better, because she notified the people and everything. And when she called me, and Tom Keller was there, and they said, they've told us we've gotta fire Dan. And Tom said, he wasn't, because you're trying to fire somebody that you felt done a good job. And so they called me, and so I come over and I called the adjuster, and I said, hey, tell me what's going on here before I do anything. And I said, will Dan get paid? And he said, yes, we're gonna pay him. And so, you know, if I can't trust his word,
Right.
I'm really concerned about K-Camp. And so I fired Dan, and really without cause, because I don't know, I had no reason. If I was to go to a court and they said, did he do all this work, I honestly would have to say, I think he done everything on that sheet.
Well, James with K-Camp was in contact with him, and he asked him several times for
Yeah.
documentation and pictures, and Dan refused to send
Well,
it.
and didn't have the right equipment, I guess, or the adjuster said is certain reports he wasn't getting. And I understand that, but, you know, from a personal standpoint, myself.
Yeah,
That's-
James was afraid he wasn't doing,
Yeah.
this is just what he's
I know,
told
I
me.
know.
And that was the reason why he got service master.
And I'm not blaming the adjuster or anybody. I'm just saying, well, this was a conversation.
And
to-
Scott and I got pushed into this impossible situation too, because you have poor Dan taking pictures and doing readings, but if he were to sit in front of his computer and run these reports and take hours, then we're, running the risk of more water spreading other places. He had all the pictures on his phone, he had all the readings written down, I saw them, but, he's not awesome on a computer, and he knew it was gonna take him days to get, or hours to get that stuff, so his priority was getting the crap out.
The main issue is we need to put our best foot forward. This will
Yeah.
all be handled in time.
Right.
What do we need to do to get the floor going and to find out if Millinger's gonna do this because he can do it now? What do we need to do to get it started? That's my question.
Well, we'll try to meet with Mellinger today
Okay?
and see for sure, get his
That would be good.
bid finished up.
Good.
I know he's working on it because he
But you have to
wanted,
understand the insurance, K-Camp has to be involved. So you get
Absolutely.
the bids and such, it has to still go through K-Camp.
good, I'm officially on vacation. I just haven't decided whether it's 3 weeks or 4.
Well,
I'd do 4 just to be safe.
Yeah.
That's why we get frustrated.
we're just as frustrated.
No, I don't think so.
Well, we want to alleviate it.
You want me to
We want to get
resign?
it.
I am, I've tried to push them, to get stuff done, it's frustrating.
But there've been little things like that asbestos test. It's new construction. That delayed thing. We've waited on this. We had to wait on the Hayes Fire people to get here to get that done because you can't go back together with anything until that's fixed. And it's just one thing after the other. And
But it took, what, week and a half, 2 weeks between service master and the adjuster coming out. There's a big span in there
Yeah.
that didn't need to be.
Renew stuff was-
Doesn't K-Camp have somebody else who could take care of this? Well, the guy's on vacation, he can't be the only guy.
That's what this adjuster that works for K-Camp, I don't know.
Here's my suggestion, is that get the bids.
Yeah.
Get as many as you can, through due diligence
Yeah,
as to who
yeah.
can do the work. And then, if necessary, go above this adjuster's head and say, we've got deadlines, we've got to get this done.
Right.
What do we do? Because it needs done now, so that can get back in here on a special, get it approved, get it going.
okay, and I explained this. The three bidders, we're down to basically one that is willing to start on it. But I don't know if K-Camp wants more bids. We just chase our tails
That is
constantly over
county
getting bids.
policy. The commissioners can change that on.
Right.
I understand to try to get it done as cheap as possible. I understand that, but
But
we've
cheap
got to
may end up
move.
costing us more money if we have to wait, so that's,
Well, and Daphne's gonna say, there's 7 more counties that want me. And we need her bad. I want everybody to know that. She's doing a super job. And we're very lucky to have her and want to keep her.
I'm sorry this happened this way.
Me too.
I think for what I'd like to see is I'd like to see in any county-owned property, whether it be land, vehicle, or structure, there be a set plan that if something happens, we go through either the clerk, if you can't get the clerk, call us, call the county attorney. That way that doesn't happen again, what has happened. Because everybody in this scenario was doing things, right. And, it just, dealing with insurance companies, I deal with them on a daily basis. Ay. So,
And if this happens again, and you don't know my phone number, any board members, call dispatch. They have it. They can get it.
Seeing Daphne, she's been here for a while, but she's been so busy getting things ironed out and running smoothly up there, and she's done a fantastic job of doing all that. I doubt that she's met any of you until this happened. You know, so
I met her last Friday.
she had no idea. All she knew is this is a bad deal. I've got to do something, and she did.
And
And the
it's-
board, we totally support her. We've said
Yeah.
that before. Rod said that.
Yeah.
We feel she did what.
Getting somebody up there on Christmas
Daphne,
Day
have you
is,
provided that state report to Scott so he could get that to K-Camp?
I haven't received it yet, so they just
Okay.
came out on Wednesday,
Let me-
and they
let me
say
know
they
what you
have 10
find
days
out.
to give it to me, but God knows I've never received one within 10 days.
Okay, well,
But
I'm
as soon as
I'm
I
just
receive
thinking,
it,
yeah, then
I
that
can
could be
forward
shared
it.
to show, hey,
Yeah, absolutely.
My quote to Daphne when she called me, thanks for taking the bull by the horns and getting this handled. Because there were a lot of things that she
yeah.
did and
So,
that needed done.
so as it stands now, if we need to have a special meeting, we can do that to,
Okay.
get one of these contractors hired and as soon as possible.
Okay, excellent.
And the other thing here, and I think as from a taxpayer, and I really feel like you need to have K-Camp come out and say, let's reevaluate your evaluation, because I think they've left things out. That they told her they was gonna replace his flooring, and it's not a part of his scope. I can tell you, I've went over it a lot of times. They left that out. The fact that we're gonna have to go around and cut all that drywall out, because James took one look at, there's nothing to glue to, all the paper, when they pulled off the deal, the paper's gone. So if we went and glued stuff to those walls, they're not gonna stick. It
Right.
will.
Because it peeled the paper off the sheet
So I think
rock.
you would, please, when you contact K-Camp.
Give me a list. Can you guys give me a list of what?
Yeah, I'll get you
Well,
something.
of what we,
Yeah, kind of, but I think I'd like to have
Summer.
just come out, you come with us, and let's
Yeah.
go through the building.
that's really what needs
And
to
get it
happen.
right this time, rather than accept what they're saying.
That's really what needs to
It's
happen.
a preliminary. Yeah, and then the other thing I wanna say, I owe Scott an apology, I called him on a telephone, he wrote Eddie, and what happened is that I was standing there, Eddie was standing right next to me, two other people, and I said, Scott, where we at with the adjusters, and where's going on, and he thought I was taking him personally, it had nothing to do with you, Scott, I know you have nothing to do with adjusters.
It's all frustrating.
Okay, and the other thing, so I wanna get out of his doghouse, cause he's so important, but it never intended, and I certainly didn't hang up on you, I wasn't intended to do that, so.
It's been forgotten.
But it's one of them things, we just gotta work together, cause this is a big thing for the county.
Yeah.
He called you, Bellinger, or
Yes, he left a voice message.
if he has a quote, maybe you can come back in and
Well, okay,
someone.
I'll contact
So we
him
still have a little bit to go yet, so.
and see whether he's that far along or not.
Okay,
All right.
and one other thing, I wouldn't be opposed to paying him labor and us buy the materials. Could just hire him to do the work, because this is drywall work and a lot of it's simple stuff, rather than go through, but it's whatever you guys like.
Man, he came up with one fantastic idea, to get that insulation blown back in there. The only access is over in the pantry, which is by the kitchen. And, so to drag all that equipment clear across up in that attic, that's a minefield, there's wires and it's almost impossible. So his idea was, he's gonna cut an opening in that library room. So they can when they get everything done, then they can go through that access hole there and re-insulate that like it's supposed to be. And it'll just be another access hole. And that needs done, and that's what we like to hear from contractors. Help us solve these things.
So it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and so,
That's frustrating, how much money we had spent on just the design of that building, and then to have this happen, it just,
didn't hear a word you said,
okay.
because I hadn't thought about it for 20 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
I know there's an internal investigation going on with the
Okay.
company, so.
Yeah, I just remember paying, yeah.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Hey, let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to it.
Well, I hope you guys feel better about it.
We did.
Good.
Bring your nail apron, boys.
Come on up, Dave. You guys good?
Well, I hope you don't have this many problems.
We're easy. Okay, this is actually kind of a premature meeting to when we're gonna have a airport commission meeting Monday evening at 6 o'clock at the library. So there'll be more to talk about after that meeting, but before the meeting, we needed to have some clarification on what's going on as far as the members, the airport commission members.
Okay, I've got questions for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so we were approached that you wanted to change the board to that of 5 members
Yes,
because you were having issues in regards to a quorum.
right.
So at the last meeting, Scott presented a list of persons to be reappointed to the board,
Okay.
to the commission, sorry.
Uh-huh,
But like you weren't on there.
okay. Whatever.
And I mean, like, and so we were confused in regards to like, why weren't you one of those that was on the list
I
to
don't
be
know.
appointed?
Who
Well-
got the list? I don't know where the list came from.
The agreement, or the, whatever you wanna call it right now, is the city of St. Francis put 3 on, Cheyenne County put 4, or, appointed them. That's why, cause you live in the city limits.
Right.
What the county would put on was somebody lived outside the city limits and Bird City.
I thought the original was somebody from St. Francis, somebody from Cheyenne County, and somebody from Bird City.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, but here's the rest of the story. All that can be found in regards to that is a handwritten note,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Official, huh?
real. And Scott had found a resolution from 1979 that was labeled a resolution, but it was actually a lease agreement between the county and the city, because the city owned the real estate
Right.
for the county to run the airport. And it didn't say anything about the commission.
Okay.
So technically, in what I am seeing, there was never a resolution technically setting up the commission.
I'm sure there
So-
was.
Well, we're frantically looking for it.
Yeah.
I found it.
And we have, all we found is that lease agreement and this handwritten note. So at the last meeting,
Okay.
when, it was presented for these people to be appointed to the airport commission, it was like, whoa, wait a minute, we've got some people missing here. And so this is one of those things that we needed to touch base with you as to what your understanding of what we were going to be doing was to be, and how things had been working, because now that it is truly all a county airport, because the county owns the real estate, et cetera, should there be city involvement in regards to the appointment of someone to the commission? Because statute provides that the commissioners appoint the members.
I think that's the way, because it's really hard to get people involved.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of, I've done a lot of research on people that would be interested.
Right.
And we're sitting better right now than we've ever been. I'm as happy now about our members than I have ever been. So here's what we have been having for members that is current right now that we would like
Okay.
to have some changes. Okay, Rodney Braceland, Rodney Radcliffe, myself, Clint Bursch, Mike Callicrate, and Devin Conley. That's just 6.
Devin Conley's not here anymore, is he?
No. But see, that's what we have right now
Oh, I'm
as
sorry.
members.
Okay.
Okay, so then, to add on to that, Rodney Braceland, I called him, he says, I would kind of continue if you had to have me, but I want off. So we'll take, Rodney Braceland wants to be off. Devin Conley moved to Colorado, which I understand we can't have an out-of-state member on the airport commission. So Devin Conley is off and Rodney is off. So I had asked Clayton Janicki if he would want to be on the board, and he said yes, he would. Alex Lingle, of course, he's out of state, lives out of state, but he did buy Devon's business, so I asked him if he would be like a attendee or I don't know that he can even be
Non-voting
considered
member?
an alternate or a, non-resident attendee. And he said, yes, he would be very interested in, and I said, we need your output on the airport or input on the airport because you're gonna be using it more than probably any of us. So he said he'd be glad to attend each meeting, so I'm happy for that.
Is there something that he can be?
Could he
board
be a
member if
trustee?
he-
A non-voting member.
Non-voting member?
Yeah, I mean, he's a non-voting member, but.
Yeah, a trustee.
But he can't be used for a quorum.
Right, right.
I don't, Mike Gallagher's not a resident.
Well, he's got an address.
But that's another one, so Mike's not on here anymore?
No, Mike is.
He is.
But he's really not a resident.
Well, doesn't he still own a house here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is here like 2 days a week. So,
I don't have a problem, but we're saying that guy from Colorado can't be on there.
yeah,
Yeah, but he doesn't have a,
yeah, he doesn't have a
He's got
house.
business address here.
He
but
does.
he doesn't have the intent to reside. Meaning has a house.
So then, another one is Jaden Chahoy is going to help Alex with the spraying business. So I called him and he would be interested in being a member. So my question is, we actually have more than 5 members, so if we're going to change it to 5 members, can we have more than 5 members?
See, why not?
Mike Hanson wanted to
You had
too.
more than that to begin with.
Yeah, but the resolution was 7. So have we changed it to 5?
6.
We haven't done anything.
Okay,
Nothing has been changed because of the confusion in regards to what the belief was
thought he told me he
in
would.
regards to who appoints who
I don't
On-
think we have a county.
to the commission. So there hasn't been anything passed because of needing to clarify, okay, what is the understanding? Does the city understand that if we go ahead and pass a resolution reestablishing the airport commission, that it's going to be the county commissioners that appoint all the board members?
we haven't heard from Bird City on this, but of course maybe Bird City, through the change of their city.
Yeah, but
Leaders.
once the number limit is set, it's set, and then you can only change that by another resolution.
Right.
So,
Myself, I mean, I think the commissioners need to be the ones to appoint the members to the airport board.
That's what I think.
And not Bird City or St. Francis.
Right. And you know what I mean?
It's a county airport.
Yeah. And
There
but
is
we,
a statute
City's voice.
is there.
now the
So-
statute is
Yeah,
county.
so I think those old agreements are so far outdated that there wouldn't be any conflict with the
I don't
city
think-
council
I don't think
over
city
this.
council
So
could care less.
I think they're glad to be done with it.
I guess what it boils down to is, what do you feel the number should be for the board?
should be 5. 5
be-
minimum. I mean,
But that's not the way it works.
okay, 5.
I mean, but then if you want to have 6,
Then we can't have it. But we could still put the 6th as an alternate that could still attend the meetings, wouldn't be able to
Be a
vote.
non-voting members, all of them.
Right.
yeah, but that's just, I mean, what that boils down to is just asking someone to please attend all the meetings so that they're in the know, right? Because they can't really have any say.
The thing too, though, is there's several that are getting a little older on this board. And if one should, get ill or not be able to attend, the alternate would be attending the meetings, know what's going on, and be able to slip right into the seat. Like this one is
Upon
gone now.
resignation
Yeah,
from the board.
yeah.
They wouldn't be able to
How
slip
many
in
do you have
during a
now?
meeting.
But they still could attend the meeting to know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
How many do you have now? That want to be? Did you say
The-
7 a while ago?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And then Clint, it's hard to get Clint to meetings because he farms early and late and whatever, but I did talk to him and he would still be interested in being a member or an alternate member, whatever would work out. Jaden Jahoy said he would be interested in being a member.
He
So,
lives in the county.
I think so. I really don't know him. I think he lives in
yeah.
Bird City.
I don't know.
Do you know him?
I don't know.
Okay, so here's my suggestion.
Okay,
What we can do is, the resolution is drafted.
okay.
It's just a matter of the number of members. But we could go ahead, and I know this is probably gonna seem like a lot to ask for, but have whomever is on or wants to be a member, go ahead and fill out the application to be appointed.
Okay,
And then that way the resolution can be passed, and then we can go through the formal appointment process. And everything is, that way it's all done through the commissioners, and it's all a matter of record, and it's all there.
okay.
How's that?
So
can
the
you-
paperwork
can you
trail
have
is
it-
taken care of.
Can you have it like 7 members, but you only have 6 and you can't get anybody else, can't they do business?
Well, it's kind of like the Fair Board.
As long as they have a quorum.
So, see, I think that we ought to make it high enough that if somebody comes on and wants to be on, we can put them on there.
Right, I
Because
mean, we
somebody
can
else
go.
might.
The
You
big
know what I'm
problem
saying?
is the quorum. That's the big deal.
But,
The reason we want,
but the quorum is only of those that have been
Oh.
appointed.
right.
Right.
So if we got 5 appointed, and 3 would make a quorum. But if
Right.
we got 7, we gotta have 4 for a quorum.
Right.
And that was where we were running into trouble.
Not if you don't have it.
Not if you don't have them all filled.
If they're not all filled, then your quorum drops down.
Oh, okay. Now, I
Well,
didn't realize that. I thought if we
Yeah.
had,
Yeah.
if we had 7 appointments, you had to have a quorum of 4.
No, if
No,
you only have so many board members appointed, it's of the board members appointed that makes the quorum.
so we can have a higher, I don't know why
Okay, I
we
get
wanna
it.
go
Stay
down to
with the
5.
7.
Leave it up at 6 or 7, and if you can have 7, great.
Seven's
I
good.
understand. I
So
didn't
can
realize
change-
that.
I'll change that to 7. How's that?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be smart?
Because then if you
And then
have,
we take care of the paper.
Because then you can have 7 and 1 drops out,
Okay.
you can still go ahead and run.
So then we'll get an application filled out for each one that wants to be a member.
And if Rodney will keep doing it, let him
Yeah,
come to
okay.
meetings.
Right. And then that way, like I said, we can pass the formal resolution, get this all sorted out.
That the
So
county,
we know what's going on.
right, that the commissioners do the appointing.
Right, that the commissioner's gonna
Okay.
do it from here on out.
I think that's
This is
great.
the number that, up to what you can have. Here are the people that have applied, and here we go. We got her all official now.
If you want the 7, but you don't have to have 7.
Okay. All right,
If you don't have the interest for 7, that's just how these small communities work.
Yep.
And we'll work with it.
good enough. So if we end up with 5 there, the quorum is 3, make the vote, get her going. Whew, that takes a load off.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that. We got understood what's going on there now. And the rest of this is, we'll be discussing at our meeting on Monday with the board. Snow removal equipment is coming pretty quick here. That their Olson's are writing the specs, for the snow removal equipment. They'll have that done by mid-February, plan on advertising for bids on March the 1st.
Didn't they up that to like a 250 horsepower tractor now?
Yeah, or bigger.
So how's our
Because-
concrete runway gonna handle that if we've got a heavy tractor?
Oh, it's good.
It is good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The concrete's good to 35,000 pounds, so
So
we're
it's
good.
5 inches thick then, is that right?
6,
6,
Yep.
okay.
yep. And so, then open the bids on that on March 28 to 30. So that's coming up pretty quick here, so. And I think what we're planning on is and I've talked to Mike Hanson, who's doing a really good job with the snow removal. We really appreciate his job and the work that he's doing. And, so we're planning on a front dozer on the tractor and a rear blade, and that's basically what he's able to use right now. And still trying to fit into the rule, which I'm happy for the ruling, but it sure makes it difficult for us, is to buy US made. And tractors are anything under 300 horse is built foreign. I don't care what brand, they're all built foreign. So you get to a 320 horsepower tractor, you try to, put the smaller tires on it, you try to make it work, even though it is too big a tractor. And this is where I do wish the FAA would relax the rule, just simply because there isn't anything built that really fits us. But we do have to keep it for 10 years. Then we could trade it off and get a smaller tractor of what we really need. But I see Roger's got a frown. Tell me.
No, I was just thinking, I don't know if you've known, I've been trying to get an outfit in there to take that old hangar and put a new door on it. And where I would like to move our senior citizen van or transportation van up there, and then maybe put our snow removal equipment inside.
I'm kind of against that myself, because I think that when we get a snow removal equipment, that needs to go inside. We own a mower, the airport owns a mower, and it's sitting outside, that needs to be inside. And then we still have Ron's airplane in there. There's not enough room. I mean, there really isn't. And it's on, it's airport stuff. I think let's use it for airport equipment.
But it's been used for junk.
Yeah, it has, but that was because it was leased out to individual rather than own, it's still,
Now it's ours though.
yes.
And that transportation van is in the way of emergency equipment right now.
I mean, it's owned by the commissioners have in charge of whatever, so I mean, we'll live with your decisions.
Nobody's gonna rent that for a hangar, the way it is.
No, and we
You
really
can't even
don't,
get the doors open.
yeah. But we do need to get the mower and the tractor and, after it's purchased in there, and,
It's got plenty of room for all that.
yeah.
Would there be room for the van also?
Oh, yeah.
And also the van could have a key in it, they could move it in and out of themselves, whoever has gotta get something out.
Yeah.
That's the way it's done now.
We have to move an ambulance out every day to help me to get the van out.
No, it's, I think they've got that, I think the 2 ambulances can get out.
Without moving the van.
Yeah, I think the van's on the east side.
I think they've got the 2 ambulances, one in front of the other.
Well, see,
I believe, I'm not positive.
Ron's airplane is in the east side. Because it used to be on the west side, but it's on the east side now.
They just moved it or what?
No, well, it's been there ever since I've seen it, so.
I think it was on the west side when we were,
I think it's
wasn't
going
it?
that other hangar.
Oh, the other
Yeah,
day it was in
west
there.
side.
Just a couple days ago, it was on the east side of
It
that.
is on the east side?
It was.
Oh, I thought he had said west side. I've seen it on the west side.
Yeah, it was
for
on
as
the
long
west
as
side,
I-
but he's putting the tractor on the west side now,
Okay,
when he puts it inside, so.
okay.
Okay, that's basically, we'll have this meeting and then call back in and come meet again.
Okay,
Thank
so you want me at that meeting then, Wednesday?
If you
Monday?
can, that'd
Monday
be
at
wonderful.
6.
Okay, I'll be there.
Thank
Okay.
you, guys.
One question. When will our budget submission be due to you guys? for next year? 1 June or 1 May, or when would you like
I
that
think, huh?
for you to look at?
That's a Scott question.
Yeah, ask Scott.
Pardon?
Ask Scott.
Oh, I will, okay.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
See ya.
I need to go downstairs.
Okay. We'll have to make a quick recess for bathroom break.
Probably shouldn't drink any more coffee either, huh?
Yeah, we don't have Scott here to.
Turn it off.
Where did he go?
Sorry about that.
Worries.
Those people we were way behind.
Yeah, I understand. Didn't wanna bore them too much, so.
The Fair Board took way more time than we thought it would. You know, and then getting the right of way to put those, like those lines on the road.